It is our job to make the driver app easier, safer, and fairer. And all the products that we will talk about today came from your feedback.
With that being said, let's move on and talk about the bundling of trips. So we had talked about that last week, and you know what? After looking at it like this makes a lot more sense. Honestly, that was kind of what I was thinking. So just to fill you guys in, what happened last week, we had the screenshots showing somebody had accepted a ride. So they were showing the two names, the pickup drop off, and then the pickup and drop off for the second person. And then the two rides of that. One was UberX and one was Business Comfort. So you had mentioned most likely the Business Comfort was a reserved trip. And now looking at the screenshot, for those who are not looking at the phone or TV or wherever you're watching this or listening, this is the actual offer screen that it shows, and it shows UberX plus UberX Reserve. So it's showing you it is a bundled trip. So that is one of the things. So if you're looking and you see UberX, again, you might be trying so fast to figure it out, whether it's worth it for you or not to take that ride. Or if that ride is smart or whatever it might be, you're trained to look at certain things. As I said, there's a video. If you are in certain classes in college, sometimes in high school, they will put a video on TV, and you could go on YouTube and check this video out. I don't know the name of it, so don't ask me. But essentially, it is, hey, we want to do a thing. We want you to count the ball that these kids are throwing around. How many times does it bounce on the ground? Okay. So they play it for a minute or so or whatever. You count the ball, how many times, and then at the end, they're like, how many people or how many bounces did you see? Somebody says it, and then another person comes on and says, hey, did you see that weird thing in there? Like there was did you see something weird that happened in the video? It was a monkey that came in and was, going around for quite a while. And most people don't actually see the monkey. So it's the same exact thing here. You're so trained on one thing that you could miss the other pertinent information that you're not seeing. So this is what the offer screen looks like. So again, if you're listening, make sure you go to YouTube and actually see what it looks like, because it shows UberX plus UberX Reserve. So it's showing you that it is two trips. It is showing you that it's one drop off, one pickup, 13 minutes away. So it's showing you the pickup, which is 6 minutes, 1.7, Terminal 2, Zone 22B in LAX. Then, it's showing one drop off and one pickup. That's 13 minutes away. And it's got a 43-minute, 10.7 mile ride to Airport Ave in Santa Monica. Was this the same? This wasn't the same trip. This was something that was similar, right?
Yeah. So I tried to confirm this with Uber. They didn't get back to me in time, but I'm pretty sure they will. This is something very new. Now, in its face here, I wouldn't do this trip, obviously. It's $20, but then in California, this is California, obviously, trip, and we have Prop 22, and then algorithm prices everything at fucking Prop 22 levels these days, which is $22 an hour. Long story short, this is happening, folks. So last week I didn't have it, but luckily we have the eyes and ears all over the place, and a driver sent me this, and this makes, well, the only problem I have with this, by the way, is also with reservations, Chris. When they bundle reservations, they only show the starting point and the ending point. They don't show the middle point, like where the other pickup is or the other drop off is. I'm assuming this is on the way. You know what I'm saying? Right? So I think they should put more detail, at least maybe put a couple more icons halfway, like where the second pickup is.
Yeah, I think that's what it should be. So like where it says one drop off, one pickup, I think you should show the whole thing. So you see, to the pickup, you see the drop off, then you see the pickup of the next one, and it shows you, the distance between and all that. So
and there could be, since the second one is an UberX Reserve, right? There could be more waiting time involved. So Uber's time estimate here may not be accurate. That the passenger, as you know, you have to turn the app on 30 or 40 minutes before the reserve trip. But this almost is like giving you the trip on the way there, because when you do a lot of reserve trips, Uber app says, oh, turn the app on 40 minutes before, we'll give you pings on the way to your pickup for the reserve trip. Well, this one, is not really showing much to me. And I mean, it's definitely good that it's saying it's a bundle trip. So this is new, folks. If you're seeing this, please send me screenshots and send me the final result, because this driver did not take the trip, obviously, and this was on Trip Radar. But send me, like, if you do one of these bundle trips, send me screenshots of the final trip receipt, everything else, so we can talk a little bit about this, because Uber did not say anything about this to me. That and this is not shared trips, folks. This is 2x trips that they're bundling. This is nothing to do with shared trips.
Yeah,
I know most of you don't like doing shared trips.
I think you know, seeing this offer screen kind of puts a lot of into perspective. And chat's kind of picking up on it, but it's a little bit more. You know, when you accept a reservation ride, you know, you may get a ride on the way there. You may not.
You may. Or the opposite direction.
Yeah. Well, depending on if they want you to have that ride or not. But when it comes down to it, what they're doing is, for the rides that may not have been reserved and actually accepted by drivers, this is a way where they can kind of bundle it together, saying, okay, well, you know, driver is going to be in the area. We're going to be able to get that person to pick it up. So we're just going to bundle it all together. So it kind of makes sense in that aspect. It's not going to be like 2 UberX on-demand trips. So you're not going to have like UberX 1 and then UberX 2 rides coming in. No, it's going to be something like an UberX on the way, and then a reserved trip when it comes to that. That's my assumption of what it would look like, probably for the majority. And it kind of makes sense that they would do that, so then they can try to get those reserve rides that may have not made it to the platform, or somebody just reserved late, or whatever it might be.
Well, I do like it in his face. I think more information on the screen would be appropriate. Uber. Okay. Number one, if you do accept the trip, like last week's screenshot that we showed, you can click on the 3 dots and then it'll give you the breakdown of your exact trip, like first trip, second trip. The other thing is, on this one, it says the rider is rated 5 stars. Well, I don't know which rider that is. Is that the first rider? Is that the second rider? I'm not sure, right? So,
you know, a couple of things I'd like to see for this change. I would like to see where it's, instead of UberX Plus, UberX Reserve, I'd like to see like like say 1 UberX, and then underneath it, in a separate box, say 2 UberX Reserve. So then that way you can see the difference, actual legs. And then that way it's going to be a little bit more clear, because looking at it like that, you might just look at UberX, you're not looking at the rest of the information. So having it in 2 separate boxes, I think, would be great. And then you know, the fare, okay, the fare is the fare. That's not going to really change or need to. But the problem is then the rating. You know, you have 2 riders getting in your car. You don't know what the rating is for one of the riders. You only know it for, or you don't know it for both. You only know for one. So again, I think that same thing should apply, where you have the first ride would be 5, and then, you know, the next ride would be whatever that UberX Reserve rating would be. So if you are looking at ratings to see if you want to take rides or not, that plays into effect. And then below, like I said, I think you should be able to see pickup, drop off, and then pickup, drop off, and then have everything atoned to where you would be from the first ride going to the second ride pickup.
Yeah. So Matt says he's seen 3 bundles. Matt, I need a screenshot of that if you do catch it.
Yeah, come on, you got screenshots. We know you do.
Yeah, well, your segment's coming up, buddy. Hold on a second. Well, you wanted me to talk about last week. We're going to talk about this week. We're going to squeeze it in there. But no, I mean, look, this is up to the driver to accept these bundle trips or not. This has been going on with reserve trips, but this is a regular ping and just 2 regular X pings combined or bundled. And again, man, look, you gotta think. I mean, you just look at it as a single trip to start with, because you have 15 seconds to accept or decline. So is it worth it? About an hour for $20, and that's 5 p.m. That's why somebody said, why is it taking 43 minutes for 10 miles? You come drive in LA. Yeah, actually, that's not that bad, actually, at that time of the day, 43 minutes for 10 miles. So long story short, you know, just treat this as a single trip and figure out if you want to accept or decline.
Yeah.
Now you have
or the other side of the coin is, maybe it's $20 and you're like, I don't know if I want to take it or not, because it doesn't look good face value. But the question is, where do you want to end up at the time you want to end up?
Yep.
So, you know, maybe you want to go to Santa Monica at a specific time and be there.
Yep, actually,
so, you know, you might be in that area and then you're like, hey, this works for me because I can reposition myself, and instead of, you know, less money or whatever it might be, you know. So it all comes down to it, and it all depends.
Actually, you do want to end up in Santa Monica or Marina del Rey at that hour, because then you have evening rush hour, people going out, doing this, doing that. But again, look, this is something new. If you guys have doubles, triples like this, please send them to me, Sergio at rideshareguy.com, especially if you did complete one. If you completed one, send me the receipts, the breakdown. I want to see how they're treating that part.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Seeing it that way, I would still love to see what that original screenshot looked like, just because, but that's probably what it looks like. Same thing when it comes to, you know, having that. If you are so honed in on a certain information, you might neglect other information that's so obvious when you look back at it and you're like, how did I miss that? You know, it's just the way it is. Sometimes people are so laser focused that you don't necessarily see everything. So I think that they need to do a little bit better job of presenting that information, like I said, where it's separate, so then it just is easier. So it's not like one of those things where it's like, wait, I don't get that, because sometimes, yeah, it's just not clear. So if they made those couple of changes, I think that would be much better in terms of what information you see.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.